Matt, good to see you. A really important topic today, how to protect your retirement savings if markets plunge. If you are within 5 years of retiring, either before or after, you are at your most vulnerable financially. Retiring in a down market presents a very unique challenge known as sequence of returns risk. Can you explain that?
Yes. So let's say you have $1 million and you're taking out 5% a year. You're taking out $50,000. In year one, if you haven't adjusted your allocation, and let's say there's a big recession, the market drops 50%, your million goes down to 500,000. Well, now you're taking out a large percentage of your money, and that's going to dramatically reduce the bucket of money that you have left. What if we're in that down market for 3 years and you've never adjusted your allocation? You're still taking out a lot of money. It can have a negative impact. It's like an earthquake in retirement. You don't
Mhm.
want.
Absolutely. So let's get into those tips then to weather that down market. Number one, build a cash cushion.
Cash cushion, we talk about it all the time. You need at least 3 to 6 months reserves in your local bank account, money you can get today. But in addition to that, I like a secondary bucket as well. And that's a non-qualified investment account. The biggest risk in your savings account is inflation. You're going to get what? Less than 1% rate of return. Inflation is going to be 3, if not 4. You're losing money every year, but you got to have some in there. But what do you do with that extra money? Well, I like to have a brokerage account, a non-qualified account. In that bucket, is still liquid. We can still get it. Not today. I call it a tomorrow bucket. I can get it to you in roughly 3 business days. But the point being is we can have investments that do beat inflation, and we can even have tax-free investments in a non-qualified account. We do want to build our reserves, not just in your local bank, but also in an investment account that can beat inflation. So you're prepared for whatever happens.
You may want to also consider changing the balance of equities and fixed investments in your portfolio. It is a delicate balance because you still need enough money invested in equities to combat inflation.
That is so true. People tend to go one extreme or the other. We just got through a rough market here in March and April, and people are probably aware of that. And obviously, some people are very concerned and they want to go to cash, right? Well, the downside with going to cash is, well, when do we get out of cash, right? Because since then the market has come back and we're doing pretty well. But the other extreme is, what if people were just too aggressive and they're in retirement? Well, if you're in retirement and you're that aggressive, feeling every bump on the road, we should definitely look at your allocation and just make sure that you're allocated appropriately for a long-term strategy that works specifically for you.
Mhm. And you may want to also adjust your spending. Is this another way of saying to adjust your withdrawal rate?
Yes, and yes. So we can always adjust our withdrawal rate. And again, if you have your savings and you have that secondary bucket that we talked about, you're going to be fine. And honestly, Aaron, for a lot of people in retirement, they're not touching their money yet.
Mm,
So you're not touching your money yet. Well, God bless you. Everything's good. But
yeah.
I wouldn't be freaking out then, because again, you're not touching your bucket. You're not touching your money yet. But yes, even on the way to work this morning, I got a Starbucks. And do I need to do that? No. Could I cut that expense? Yes. So there's always, all of us have money that we can turn off the spigot for a little bit and save a few bucks. At the same time, we can also reduce how much money we're taking out of our retirement accounts. But for someone that's planned and put a strategic plan together, you're going to be prepared for this, and you're going to
Mhm.
get the right investments that can help weather the storm.
And as painful as it might be, you might need to work a little bit longer, which of course can help with income and also delaying when you claim Social Security.
That is so true. Another benefit is, when we're working, it's hard to spend money while we're working during those hours, right? So it helps cut back on that as well. So I understand, most everyone I know has worked hard their whole life, and work life is hard as it is, and then work on top of that. We're looking forward to retirement, but sometimes what we need to do is just change things up. So we can maybe reduce the hours at our work, say, hey, I'm going to go part-time, and or do whatever you could do, but to still get benefits, your healthcare benefits. Or we can say, you know what, I've worked with you for 30 years. It's been great. I'm going to retire, but then get a part-time job. And maybe you get a
Yeah,
part-time job that
right.
has care benefits. And that way you don't have to worry about, the crazy cost of healthcare until you're 65. There's
Mhm.
lots of options. Get creative. Take a break for a month. Really retire for 1 month, 2 months, and then go back and work part-time.
Or a year. Yeah, you're right.
There we go. All
Your
right.
choice. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it when you're in control financially. And then
Yeah.
last, of course, speaking of, whenever you have a conversation with a fiduciary advisor, it can help ensure that you retire when and how you want. That advisor can also design a plan uniquely tailored to you and your goals, which does account for any of this market volatility and, of course, protecting against sequence risk.
That it does. And that's why we're here as an advisor that's been in the business for decades. I can tell you, we've talked to a lot of people and we've seen a lot of things that work and a lot of things
Right.
don't work. And we're here to help you. Our advice is free. I'm not going to charge you for our time, but we're licensed in not just many things across the board. And again, I've literally talked to thousands of people in my lifetime. And I go through all the quarterly reports and I see what investments work and which ones maybe we need to tweak here. I do that every quarter. We're here to help you. And a fiduciary advisor is going to do what's best for you. We're
Mhm.
not incentivized by how we get paid on the investment advisory side. We're independent. If there's something better out there in the marketplace, we can bring it on board. And I've actually done that, with things
Mhm.
for Brookstone.
Mhm.
But we're here to help you.
Right. And having this conversation with you, Matt, it's apparent that you live in this world. You are aware of these risks and how to plan for them, mitigate them, or even capitalize on them. So, if somebody would like to come to you for that financial plan or even a second opinion, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way is to give us a call. There's 3 people that answer the phone, and all of them can put something on the calendar for us. So if I'm in a meeting like this, don't worry, I'll call you back. The number is 425-256-3105.
All right. Matt, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Aaron.